What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Chris the Nightmare Arreola. Chris Arreola states that he would like to take on Deontay Wilder. He stated after his fight, after his courageous performance against Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, he said that Deontay Wilder could get it too, on top of fighting Andy Ruiz for the rematch. Let me counterpunch. When I first heard it, I had a primary thought, like, okay, well, the same thing will happen to you again. Then I started thinking about it. I started thinking about both guys. I started thinking about, Deontay Wilder in a transition where he's never been in. I see Chris Arreola is on an incline because a lot of times fighters can lose, but they really win. And people can win, but they really lose. And then win or lose, you can actually tie. Oh, man. That's Miss Perez from White Man Can't Jump. I love the movie references, but that's absolutely true. Okay. I think when Rosie Perez is right, a lot of times when you do lose and the way the fight went due to the scorecards, they really shitted on any chances of him having a fair fight anyway. Okay, that's the gist of the matter. See, when you start implementing dirty or lopsided scorecards, they just show you they weren't looking at the fight themselves, regardless of who won. It's almost like this. It's almost like if someone's dead to right in the courtroom, right? They got someone, they know he's guilty, and then someone from the defending side mishandles the evidence, right? And because they mishandled the evidence, the whole case gets thrown out. I think that's the same in boxing, or it should be the same way in boxing, because that just shows you, like, okay, there was corruption on the defending end. And if the people, the judges, weren't even looking at the fight, okay, that means that fight should be, due to corruption, a no contest. So Chris Arreola finds himself in the same situation as fighters like Otto Wallin, where Otto Wallin, he lost to Tyson Fury, but he gained a lot of popularity and momentum because of that loss, because it's the way he lost. It was some drama. It was some oohs, some ahs. Hell, a fight broke out, for Christ's sake. So, these type of things happen in the sport. And Chris Arreola is definitely on an incline, and he ain't nowhere near retiring. That being said, adding Deontay Wilder took a loss, right? And Chris Arreola's know what it's like to lose. Deontay Wilder doesn't, right? Well, we know how he handled the first year of being once defeated and once again not a champion. So the momentum appears like it's in Chris Arreola's corner. However, I look at both of these fighters. I look at them, they both, when they fought, they have been changes with them. Look at Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola has came in small as he's ever came in, ever. Okay, he was like Andy Ruiz 1.0, basically, back in the day, just taller, Andy Ruiz, is a shorter cat. And we've seen him throw that right hand. We've seen defense, especially coming from a rapid fire combination throwing guy like Andy Ruiz. And we've seen him making a good account of himself. It went 12 rounds, and he did a lot better with Andy Ruiz, a lot better than he did with guys like Adam Kaunaki. And because I looked at that Adam Kaunaki fight, and I took that into consideration, and I thought, well, Andy's going to smoke this guy. I did not think that was going to happen. Because Andy damn near went down twice in that fight, mind you. But it wouldn't have mattered if he went down 3 or 4 times, because the way they scored the scorecards were just ridiculous. He would have to have 3 or 4 knockdowns to even have a credible scorecard, with Andy Ruiz, right? A chance of even tying, okay? So then you have Wilder. Wilder, proved that he was more calm. He was more patient with the right hand. And he proved that he, has changed and learned some temperament when it comes to his punch selection on when he throws the right hand. And I think both fighters, Chris Arreola and Deontay Wilder, has learned a little wisdom. See, a lot of let me break something down to you guys. These older fighters, Pulev, Povetkin, guys like that, Arreola now, they have learned and been in the game long enough to know, okay, hey, I've actually learned something and grew from my defeats as well as my victories. And you grow through things and you understand what to do and what not to do. So when you get the opportunity again, you will show it. So will Deontay Wilder, could he smoke out Chris Arreola? I mean, obviously so, we've seen it, but could he do that again? I think that fight would be more of a textbook, especially when Chris Arreola is now working on his defense. He found out you don't have to be heavy or heaviest to be a heavyweight. And I think both of these guys have learned a little patience, so I think it'll be a very interesting fight. And I was one of the guys that called Chris Arreola a tune-up fight, and yes, I did. And yes, it was supposed to have been for Team Ruiz. But Arreola proved that, hey, I'm not finished yet, and I'm still a dangerous fighter. That's what makes the heavyweight division the most dangerous. But I still think Deontay Wilder will eventually get him with his reach and size, but we'll never know. I think with these guys knowing what they know, because they both have grew, it should still be an interesting fight. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think a fight between Chris Arreola and Deontay Wilder would become. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.